Hi everyone, and welcome back to another top 5 tips in under 5 minutes. My name's Yasmin Geddis and I'm the founder of the ZGBTST Breakfast Silence Trust. Each week we're bringing you different tips and tricks that you can use to experience more of a positive time within isolation. If you want to catch up on any of our previous videos, you can do so by checking out the description box, and please don't forget to like and share, and maybe someone else that you know could benefit from some of the tips and tricks that we're giving out. Today's topic is on social media and how you can create a more positive experience online. Social media nowadays plays a huge part in our everyday life. So it's important that we recognise when it's having a good effect on our mental health and whenever it's having a negative effect on our mental health. Today we're going to focus on how to directly improve your social media experience through 5 really simple tips. Tip number 1, don't check your social media first thing in the morning. Most of us use our phones as our alarm clock, but then in the morning we see those notifications come up on screen and we spend endless amounts of time still in bed scrolling through endlessly and mindlessly through our social media platforms before we actually start the day. In order to try and change this and shift our routine pattern, what we can do is we can set an alarm for you to initially wake up and then set another one 15 minutes later for you to stop your social media scrolling and actually get out of bed. Once you've did that a couple of times, you can start to decrease the time between you waking up and that setting alarm, and then eventually you'll have a social media free morning and you'll find that your productivity and your happiness levels are just that little bit higher because you haven't spent it looking at a screen. Tip number 2, decrease your screen time. This tip connects to the first tip. In turn, you don't want to be staring at your screen all day, every day. You can easily press the Do Not Disturb button, or you can download a productivity app which actually monitors the amount of time you spend looking at your phone, and then it gives you a daily update at the end of the day to see how well you've done. When it comes to productivity levels, our procrastination is usually in the form of us looking at our phones. If we're able to decrease that amount throughout the day, then we're able to get more done and feel better about ourselves before we go to bed. Having a great productive day enables us to feel more accomplished at night time, and therefore we sleep easier with less stress and worries about the next day and what it's going to bring. Tip number 3, remember, it is not real life. We only portray 5% of our actual lives on social media. If you're constantly seeing everybody else being happy and you yourself are feeling sad, just remember that they're not going to put out anything that makes them feel sad. They're going to portray themselves as someone different online. Everybody has an online persona. You just need to recognize that within people and not judge them for what they post, and don't let what they post make you feel bad about your life situation. Social media platforms such as Instagram is very famous for the fact that it's really unrealistic. What you're seeing is not exactly what's happening in that person's life. You're only seeing a very short snippet. And if you can remember to maintain that mentality, it'll really ground you back down whenever you're feeling that you're inadequate. Tip number 4, declutter your newsfeed. During this epidemic that we're currently facing, most people are using social media as a news platform. That's not actually what it's designed for. Social media is actually designed for interaction, and some news stories that you actually see are not coming directly from the source. And what happens there is that views and opinions often get altered and we're not given the real picture. If you're seeing an endless amount of negative stories, what I would do is actually hide them from your timeline, so that whenever you go on, you're not seeing these fake news stories pop up and you're only really sticking to the real credible sources. You can unlike and unsubscribe from something at any point of time. That means that you won't see it anymore and it'll increase your positive experience. Tip number 5, delete or unfollow those who do not make you happy. Many of us spend too much time focusing on how our actions will make someone else feel, rather than making them take account for how they make us feel. You have to put yourself first in these situations. You don't need to explain yourself. It's your choice. It's your phone, it's your life, it's your platform. You should have on it who you want to have on it. And that's up to you. The decision's in your hand, and you're doing something that makes a positive impact on your mental health and well-being. Well, that's it for today on my top tips under 5 minutes in the area of social media. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you're keeping up to date. We have something really exciting coming for Mental Health Awareness Week. Take care, stay safe, and wash your hands.